بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Hello, brothers and sisters, to the fourth and the last video of the rules of Noon Sakin and Tanween. And today's lesson is Ikhfaa Haqiqi. So let's get started. So the word Ikhfa means to hide something. And in this rule here, after we explained Izhar, Iqlab, and Idgham with its both kinds, Idgham with Ghunnah and Idgham without Ghunnah, remains the last one of the Noon Sakin and Tanween rules, which is the Ikhfaa Haqiqi. So as we said, Ikhfa means to hide. And Ikhfa here in this rule means that you are pronouncing the Noon Sakin or the Tanween in a way that it's some kind between the Izhar and Idgham. And we will understand that when we get to the examples, inshallah. Alright, what are the letters of Ikhfa? The letters of Izhar were 6 letters. Hamz, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha. The throat letters. And the letters of Iqlab was just one letter, the letter Ba. And the letters of Idgham were also 6 letters. Yarmalun, Yanmu, 4 letters for Idgham with Ghunnah. And Lam and Ra for Idgham without Ghunnah. So the total number of these letters were 13, and the remaining letters are 15. And these are the letters of Ikhfaa Haqiqi, because Ikhfaa Haqiqi happens when the Noon Sakin or Tanween is followed by one of the remaining letters that are not used in the previous rules. In Arabic alphabet, we have 28 letters. We've used 13 of them, 6 with Izhar Halqi, 1 with Iqlab, and another 6 letters with Idgham, so remaining 15 letters. So again, if the Noon Sakin or Tanween is followed by the remaining 15 letters other than the Izhar, Iqlab, and Idgham letters, in this case we have to hide the Noon Sakin or the Tanween in a way that it's between the Izhar and Idgham, and we have to do Ghunnah for 2 beats. Let's see examples. Here in this example, we see the Noon Sakin is followed by the letter Dha. Letter Dha is not among the Izhar letters. Hamz, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha. And it's not Iqlab letter, of course. The Iqlab is Ba. And it's not the Idgham letters Yarmalun. So it's Ikhfa letter. And in this case, we have to hide the Noon and do Ghunnah for 2 beats. And this is how it's going to be pronounced. Yanzur, Yanzur. Let's see another example. Noon Sakin and it's followed by Ta. Okay, Ta is not among the Izhar letters, not among the Idgham letters, and sure it's not the Iqlab letter. So it's an Ikhfaa Haqiqi letter, and this is how we're gonna pronounce it with Ghunnah. Man Tagha, Man Tagha. So here is a trick on how to exactly pronounce the Ikhfaa Haqiqi in the most perfect way. While you're starting to pronounce the Ghunnah and hiding the Noon, make your mouth ready to pronounce the next letter. Let your mouth takes the form of pronouncing the next letter. For example, in this word here, man, and then it's followed by ta. So I'm letting my mouth taking the shape of pronouncing the letter ta, 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 ta. And the same with the other example, noon followed by va. This is the shape of my mouth in while pronouncing the letter va, va. Yanzur, yanzur, ta, ta, so let your mouth takes the shape and the formation of pronouncing the upcoming letter while you're starting to hide the Noon Sakin or the Tanween. Let's see the rest of the examples. Examples with Tanween. Tanween in this word and it's followed by Qaf in the next word. عذابا ق. Did you notice this? Tanween. I'm starting to hide the Tanween and I'm letting my mouth takes the shape of pronouncing the letter Qaf already. عذابا قريبا عذابا قريبا عذابا قريبا. Let's see the next example. كتب قيمة كتب قيمة كتب قيمة and so on. There is another thing we'd like to notify about the Ghunnah of the Ikhfaa, which is, as in Ikhfaa we have so many letters, the 15 letters. In Arabic language we have some heavy letters and some light letters, and there are some exceptional letters that are sometimes heavy and sometimes light, but we will talk about them later inshallah. So for the heavy letters, they're just 7 letters, and they're gathered in the phrase of khussa daghtin qadh, kha, sad, dad, ghain, ta, qaf, and dha. And these 7 letters, we call them the heavy letters. And the remaining letters of the Arabic letters are light letters. So if the Noon Sakin or Tanween is followed by one of these 7 heavy letters, the Ghunnah has to be heavy Ghunnah because it's followed by a heavy letter, like these examples we read here. Dha and ta, qaf. These 3 letters are from the heavy letters kha, sad, dad, ghain, ta, qaf, and dha. These are the heavy letters. So the Noon Sakin or the Tanween in these examples here are followed by one heavy letter, and that's why we did a heavy Ghunnah. ينظر عذابا قريبا من طغى. Heavy letters, so we have to do heavy Ghunnah. Now let's see examples of light Ghunnah. Light Ghunnah happens when the Noon Sakin or Tanween is followed by a light letter. Any letter other than khussa daghtin qadh letters. And let's see examples. Here we have the Noon Sakin is followed by sheen. So again, remember the trick. Let your mouth forms the shape of pronouncing the upcoming letter, and here it will be a light Ghunnah. These are both things we're doing together, like this. فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَمَنْ شَاءَ. Again. فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَمَنْ شَاءَ. The next example. Noon Sakin is followed by dhal. أَنْذَ. Notice this. أَنذَرْنَاكُمْ أَنذَرْنَاكُمْ. It's a light Ghunnah because dhal is a light letter. And let's see examples of Tanween. Tanween in this word, and it's followed by dal here. Again, dal is an Ikhfaa letter and it's a light letter, so we have to do Ikhfaa Haqiqi with light Ghunnah. وَكَأْسًا دِهَاقًا وَكَأْسًا دِهَاقًا وَكَأْسًا دِهَاقًا. And in this word, we see Tanween and it's followed by sheen as well. Sheen is an Ikhfaa letter. It's not among the Idhar or Iqlab or Idgham letters, and it's a light letter, so it will be Ikhfaa Haqiqi with light Ghunnah. يَوْمَئِذٍ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٍ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٍ. So here it's an idgham with light Ghunnah because the Tanween is followed by an Ikhfaa letter, and this letter happens to be a light letter. So we understand now what is the meaning of Ikhfaa, how to pronounce the Ikhfaa, and what are the letters of Ikhfaa, the 15 letters. And also we explained the 2 types of Ghunnah, the heavy Ghunnah and the light Ghunnah. The last thing we'd like to explain is why we call this one Ikhfaa Haqiqi, which means natural hiding, because there is another kind of Ikhfaa, we call it Ikhfaa Shafawi, liptic hiding, and it happens with your lips. In order to differentiate between both of them, we call this one Ikhfaa Haqiqi, that happens with Noon Sakin and Tanween, and the other one is Ikhfaa Shafawi, and it happens with the Mim Sakin in the next classes inshallah. Hope that you understand our lesson. If you have any questions, please write them down below. See you next time inshallah, and Assalamu alaikum.